So again, coming to the second experiment, this is little bit advanced of HTML tags. So here you can see in the page search something is there. How is the search created? It's because of that placeholder something in the form element input type text. You have something called placeholder, and this is just reference and all these. So within a web page, I'm including another web page or another content. So all these are done using the iframe tag. So iframe address, if you just paste it, it will bring another page inside here. So let us see the actual code. It's all similar. So here navigation bar they're creating using tables. Later we'll study in CSS navigation tag itself. Then apart from that, here you have that iframe. As I said, these two iframes are only creating this thing concept. So embed tag will be useful in accessing our own system files, folders, or videos, audios, and all. Embed tag is better. So if you go for external things, you can go for iframe, and you have something list concept now like explained in the I have explained in the first video, especially the this is actually here it's uses unordered list. So just give the unordered list and give the style type, and you have to just list the items. Then image also similar way I have explained there itself how to give img tag and width and height. Now let us see the next important part, the form elements. This will be very useful in when we study PHP, because the form elements data only will be extracted to the database. So for that you need to know this very nicely. So form elements, especially at first you can see this application. This is the concept of legend. So legend only will give you the heading for the form, and field set you can give the boundary, and all these tags are actually basic thing is input type it's using. So apart from this drop down list is separate, you have a different tags for that one. So apart from that, input type is equal to name, input type is equal to number, password, then mail, the file, date. All these things will handle only with input type, and it continues with the other tags. Name you have to give. And here radio button. So this is also input type. So here radio and checkbox are a little bit different, because in radio you have to give same name, and checkbox we have to give different name. Why we are giving like that? Because radio button, if you're choosing this one, the other thing should not be selected. Especially it will be very useful in PHP when we retrieve the data and all. We need the name. Using the name only we will be accessing the data in PHP. Inside the PHP thing we will be accessing the delimiters. In this, when I give submit, it's showing please fill out this field. So how this is created? It's because of this concept I've given, required auto focus type. So whenever you give within with the input, if you're going to give this, so when you submit the form, if you're not going to fill the form and if you're going to submit it, that particular element is going to show this particular error. And this placeholders and all, I already said it's like a catch thing. So how I showed in that old page, the search thing, the same concept if you use. So let us see the actual code. In the code, we have used the field set, as I said, how that heading and the legend is used to give that. The field set is used to give the boundary, and legend is the heading. And this for form action and method get. Actually, this we'll study in depth in PHP. Action is what data you collected from this form. No, when you give the submit, it has to go somewhere. So if it is going within the page or it's going to go into another page, you can give in this action. And method is where if you're going to give get means, when you're going to the another page, that is after submit, you can see the password being exposed outside. That is, the password will be visible to the user or even the external person. So if you're going to give post means, it's like a postman is just wipe all his post inside an envelope. So it will be very secret. The passwords and all won't be shown outside. Apart from that, as I said, already I said, the name is very useful to identify the radio button checkbox in PHP. It's very useful. Then drop down list concept. Drop down alone is the only thing which is not using this input. Other things are all input tags, hereditary only. So here you have to give select and what thing you wanted to select. You're going to give what you want to select. If you give, that thing will be selected. Then after filling everything, we have to just, and one more thing is, in files something is important, that is you have to mention what kind of file you are going to accept. So whether it's going to be a JPG or a PNG file or image or any other file, whatever you want, you can just give. So that if you are not going to give means, the user may submit any file. So passport size photo is the image, so I need only image. So that, like, you can restrict like that now. So this file is being shown inside within the page. So you can go for embed tag, and video audio tag is also useful for same way inserting videos, audios and all. Can be, embed tag can be useful for retrieving videos, audios also you can use. Then here only the embed concept is something new. Other, you have to just give the embed what address and width and height. If you give, that's it. Let me give you a quick recap of what we have studied. Especially in the first page, you can see that the top, always we think about navigation. Navigation, we are here, we are using table concept itself. Later we'll study in CSS in-depth navigation bar. Then we saw something called iframes are used to use the web page within, okay, our own page. If you want to bring another web page, we saw that concept. And next we moved on to forms, that is, which is very important. Forms, if you see, 90% all the form elements will have the input type thing only. Then only it will proceed with whether it is a password or a number or a mail ID or a date or file, all these things, radio or even checkbox. All only thing, your drop down list alone, it will be having a different tag, that is select option tags it is having. Then how will you give the heading for the form? It's using legend. And if you want to give boundary for the form, you can use field set tag. And within the form element, if you wanted to give any um, already the catch should be displaying means, you can use the placeholder. And if you are going to give autofocus means, what will happen means, when you're giving submit button, the if you're going to give autofocus, that particular thing, it will show that you have to fill it mandatorily. All those things can be done. And you should be very careful while you're using radio button and checkbox. You have to differentiate the names you're using it in that, because radio button will have the name same and checkbox will have the name different. Because radio button, you're going to choose only one thing. There may be n items, but you're going to choose only one. Whereas in checkbox, there may be n items, you may choose n items also. Then in the third page, we saw the just using the files. So better for files, video, audio, you can go for embed tag. Then for iframe concept, you can go for iframe tag to just bring a page. So in the first page, we have used for video iframe concept. Iframe concept we can use when you know the web address, remote address. If